Hello and welcome to a little thing I'm making, because I see the discourse popping up on my timeline about Prismatic Titan, and people are now starting to actually talk about it, and to be honest, I agree wholeheartedly with a lot of what's being said. But I did want to make this video because just to generally explain why Prismatic Titan feels a little bad, and what I think and what I personally think the best solution is to fixing it. But currently, right now, Prismatic Titan, like in comparison to the other subclasses, feels generally underpowered, mostly due to the fact that you don't really have any health regen effects, and you don't have any interesting combos. What I mean by this is, like, when you're on Warlock, for instance, like if I head over to my Warlock, you have a bunch of different things that end up feeling like, oh cool, this combination actually feels really good. Like, for example, I have Getaway Artist on, which was the first build that basically everyone figured out is really cool, which when you eat a grenade will actually still spawn the Bleak Watcher turret and give you the Arc Soul, which is just a really cool combination. There's also the inherent synergy of, cool, I can put on Lightning Surge and Arcane Needle, and I can just have a bunch of Lightning Surges up, which feels really, really nice. That combined with general, like, more generalist aspects means that while Hellion won't do the same amount for you as it will on a Solar subclass, it'll still hit things, and that's pretty cool, and you can still synergize it with other stuff. And then Weaver's Call just kind of does things for you. Not many people care about this, but that's mostly due to the fact that it's just strictly better to use Threadlings on Strand thanks to Thread of Evolution. But then you head over to Hunter, and Hunter gets all of its synergies from its class item. Like, you're sitting there going like, okay, cool, I guess I can, like, but like, it gets all the synergies from its class item, but it also gets a bunch of synergies just from the fact that it has a whole bunch of exotics that are just like, what is your super? And you just got like 2 of those supers. So you can just go like, okay, cool, I have Orpheus Rig, I now have a build that just regenerates all of my abilities constantly and suppresses everything, so I can just go in and ascend and beat them up, and then just keep making all of my transcendent energy and everything. And then obviously there's the one that everyone knows with Nighthawk and Still Hunt, and just getting literally every single effect under the sun with this DOT constantly giving you Radiant. I slapped Solitude on it because I like having Sever. You then just... This is mainly because I like freezing things because I can't aim. And then because I use this also helps to get back to my dodge a lot faster. I can then just do a crap ton of damage, and sure, like, technically your regen is dropping, like, your regen is just dropping out of radar and just waiting for my 22 recovery to help me, but like, you can, like, you're still like, that's just what Hunter normally feels like. So you're still just running over orbs to get HP, and then because you're invis, you can just do that freely without having too much issue, and otherwise you just kill everything or CC everything and make sure nothing can get to you. And then if you want to actually have like a survivability neutral game, you can grab if you get lucky, a class item like this, and suddenly you are a DR god that literally cannot die with every single DR effect in the video game, and or you can just kill everything. I don't have a Caliban's roll, but I have a visibility roll, and that lets me just kind of run around with stuff like this, and you can just punch and go invis and dodge and freeze everything, or fly up into the air and ascend, and then my main combo with this one is just going in with grapple, ascending to jolt everything, and then punching then doing the punch dodge combo in order to just keep everything CC'd after that. And it's just so, like, there are so many things on Hunter that feel incredible. The entirety of Warlock just makes Transcendence feel really good, and you can get to it really fast, and you feel like you're constantly weaving everything together. And then you come to Titan, and like nothing works together. Like you have knockout, consecration. That's it. That's your combo. Your other three aspects all fight each other. Like this is the best I got for hazardous propulsion. It feels pretty good, but diamond lances don't really do anything. Like I have them because they're technically generated off of the rocket kills, so it feels kind of nice to be able to go and grab one if you can, but you can't really go in with this because guess what? You have no health regen. That's why I use throwing shield, because it's the best like way of getting health regen in air quotation marks, because that's the main crux of the issue with Titan, is that they don't have any way of dropping off of radar with like stylish, but their only health regen effect is knockout, and knockout feels like absolute garbage. Like on arc it feels fine, because whenever like you proc it off of your incredibly goated grenade, you kill a bunch of things, you go in and clean up the rest with your punches, and the next engagement you're throwing another goated grenade that is able to clear out some enemies, proc knockout again, and you go in. But on Prismatic, that just doesn't work. That just straight up doesn't work. Your grenade is really bad. You're in comparison to all of the other incredibly goated things that Titan can do, at least. Roaring Flames grenade, Touch of Thunder grenades, this is whatever. And then controlled demo grenades, or just generally having more grenades. But like then you just get to this and you're like, okay, cool, I can't proc knockout unless something has a shield, and even if it does, I'm probably like, I'm in the middle of like punching a bunch of stuff, and then I just like nothing can really be done. I can't do anything. Like my knockout will just run out, and that I think is the worst crux of the issue, is the fact that knockout, because of PvP, can't refresh itself. So you're just constantly feeling really bad because your knockout will always run out when you least want it to, and it'll just kill you. And it's like, okay, cool, I really, really needed that to just stay up, and I killed 3 things. I was going for the 4th, it just fell off, and I died. And it's like... So it just feels really bad, and it also doesn't help that basically all of the combos on the class item are completely gimped and worse versions. Like this is the... I got this after 4, and I said I don't care, I don't want to go for anything anymore. So, because like you just want Star Raiders. That's the only thing that this class wants. Everything else is like, you could do like Severance plus Synthoceps, and I think that's the only other role that I saw that was like, this is cool, I guess. But it doesn't do anything. All of the things related to your barricade just completely invalidate the fact that a lot of people love using Thruster. Hell, I would use Thruster on this if it weren't for the fact that Dranger's Lash just requires you to have a barricade in order for it to go forward instead of just sitting on top of you. So, and then like this one I use Towering just because I like this, because I want to sit behind it. And then this one is another rally because it's meant to be used against strictly the Witness, and that's it. But like a lot of people really like having access to Thruster because it's just a really nice ability to be able to just kind of move and do things, and you can't really use that with any of them. And it just creates this issue where instead of having all of these synergies, Titan just has Knockout, Consecration, Frenzy Blade. You know, just a strictly worse version than putting on Pyrogale Gauntlets and having Burning Maul on Solar and using Searing to get back your melee basically instantly. So you're just strictly worse at doing that because you don't get ability damage increase and you don't get a good super. You just have these two aspects. So everyone that I've ever like played with, like in the server that I'm in, basically everyone has gotten, whenever they get to their Titan, they constantly I've basically never had anyone ask anything in that server when it comes to builds because they don't tend to really care and they just do what they want. But holy heck, the amount of people, like at least 5, 6 more, that have just gone in there and in the chat and gone like, so what are people doing on Titan because of how bad it feels in comparison to the other subclasses is incredible, and that warrants a change. Like, again, normally these people are just putting on what feels fun and just going at it. Titan feels so unfun that they are asking for help, and that is so big of a problem. The blueberries of the world are asking for help on how to make Titan fun, and that is really unfortunate. So what I'm saying, this is literally the only build that's fun, and even it just doesn't really have any synergies. It's just like, cool, courage makes my rockets do more damage. I will just suspend and or sever them and make that happen. Cool. And it's like, that's the most that it does, and it's just, it needs a change. It needs help. When I'm sitting here going like, okay, cool, time to raid, I think that's an issue, because it's like, or cool, time to do GMs, like equip this again, or this, or this, or this, but never this. I am never clicking on this, and I think that is an issue. Just whenever you want to actually do something that isn't just for fun, I'm either putting on hazardous propulsion just because I want to make it work, or I'm putting on anything else that isn't prismatic, and that is an unfortunate issue with it. So, all of this rambling, what are you going to do about it? I think, the main reason I made this video is I watched Asdacross's video, and he's like, let me just slap on Banner of War, and would that fix everything? Yes. Would that be boring AF and completely invalidate Banner Titan? Partially to yes. Because, sure, you lose into the fray and you lose immediate, easy access to Woven Mail. But if you slapped Banner on this Prismatic Titan, suddenly this Titan just has, knockout plus Banner of War, and you're just tripping over literally everything in the video game. And that just doesn't feel fun. That doesn't... it would be fun, but it doesn't feel like it would... it would just invalidate basically everything in the video game. It would become you are Titan 5.0 and you're just breaking everything. So I think what would be better would be giving it Control Demolitionist. Because Unbreakable, we all know that it was put on there because it's the new aspect, and every single class got their new aspect on Prismatic because it's supposed to be all cool and wonderful. Unbreakable is a PvP aspect. It sucks. It does absolutely nothing for you, and it is it is a thing that is meant to allow you to push in on the enemy, but it eats your grenade. And unfortunately, unlike on Void, which has access to a low cooldown scatter grenade or a low cooldown magnet grenade, Prismatic on Titan only has 2-minute grenades or a 2-minute 32-second grenade. So you're making the choice to turn your grenade into something that will give you a 5-second overshield and maybe kill what's in front of you, but probably not. And it's the only reason I have it on this build is because this is meant to fight the witness, and every single other thing does absolutely frickin' nothing. So I figured, screw it, maybe it'll save me at some point. And that is just not how an aspect should be. Like, and while I understand, like, they probably don't want to just outright trade Control Demo for Unbreakable, you could easily add Control Demo to Prismatic and not break anything because of just how nothing Unbreakable is, while simultaneously still, like, I think Control Demo feels like an underutilized aspect, at least because whenever I see people running around with Void Titan, they're always just slapping on Bastion with Offensive Bulwark because it's brain dead, and they don't want to frickin' think at all and make up for not having Offensive Bulwark, and instead have one of the most broken effects in the video game. But so in order to, but because of that, I feel like it would fit the underutilized aspect criteria, while simultaneously also fixing every single one of Prismatic's problems, because now you have immediate access to, like, assuming that they made it so that any ability would proc volatile and not just void abilities, because Prismatic. Now, suddenly, every single thing you do is making people volatile, and all of those volatile procs are healing you and every single ally next to you. They're just giving you flat health bumps every single time. And it's an incredibly potent effect that would make suddenly, like, if I would swap Diamond Lance for Control Demo in a heartbeat, because suddenly now, whenever I'm low, I throw my shield forward, get a little overshield, bump my health back up from the volatile proc, and I'm golden. I throw my, like, suppression grenade forward, suppress everyone, volatile everything. Like, it just gives you the, like, incredibly potent effect of volatility on everything you do. It's like a thermite grenade that volatiles, and then it procs it, and then it volatiles, and then it procs it. It just, suddenly you have a combo that you're like, oh my god, this is so cool. I really want to try everything in my kit with Controlled Demolitionist. And that, I think, would have been an infinitely better aspect to port over, because now everything you do suddenly can be like, I want to try this with Control Demo. I think it would be so cool. It also helps your super game a good amount. You can get, like, some volatile procs on everything here, which would make everything just do that little bit extra, which feels incredible. Like, it just feels like something that would actually, like, help the subclass immeasurably. It would make it so that if you want to be a faraway gun prismatic subclass, you put Control Demo on and you're doing good. You want to be a more ability centric subclass that, like, you can also get bravery for like, to proc volatile rounds, which would help heal you and allies next to you as you're plinking them with all of your, like, with, like, a Rasarago 4. You get all this, like, Control Demo just suddenly makes so many things in Prismatic Titan just make sense and feel good. Suddenly you put Knockout on because every single one of your punches will start volatiling people because they are considered arc punches, and you can you can knock out plus Control Demo, and you're just absolutely having a blast. Not only having, like, your punches heal you, but having Controlled Demo heal you on top of that, so when you get to a boss, you aren't just folding immediately. You're instead just punching them and trying to win the battle of attrition, and it's actually enjoyable. Like, it's just, like, the amount of things that would be fixed with Controlled Demo being put on Prismatic, while simultaneously not necessarily invalidating everything else, because this would still be the best at punching. This would still be the best at scorching and igniting. This would still have a really goated grenade. This would still, like, be the best at getting frost armor and so on and so forth. Like, this, like, even the, like, Void wouldn't get invalidated because you still have Bastion giving you better access to overshields than basically every single thing in the video game. So like, it wouldn't invalidate any other subclass. It would just make Prismatic Titan so much more fun for literally everybody. That's my thought, at least. You can feel free to say what you will in the comments below, or if you feel like it. I'm a tiny person that's just making this because I feel it would be important. But I hope that airs out any grievances, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and hope that this was a solid idea in your eyes. But yes, have a good one.